Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Year of the Batman. Today's Batman Beyond episode is season finale time, Ascension. So it starts off Blight and a few of his workers. They're doing some kind of job where they're stealing something called polymold, but it all goes to shit because obviously Batman shows up and Blight and his gang they get away. Beforehand setting a whole bunch of things on fire, so Batman has to stay behind to save some civilians. But he finds one of the men was knocked out, and he takes a look at his stuff, and he finds out that he's a Powers and Wayne employee. So he's like, "Oh shit, Derek Powers is working with Blight. This is this ain't good." So then you see Derek. He's even more deteriorating than before. His temper's out of control. Like the fake mask thing that he has to wear all around his body, it like blows through in like 2 weeks, if that. So Derek, he's like, all right, something we gotta do something. So he calls his distant son, Paxton Powers, who he's like CFO or something of like one of the Wayne Powers companies, but in Brazil or some South American country. Anyway, he's essentially like pushed off to the side and whatnot. And uh, when it shows him, there's a whole group of people all around him protesting. It's like Paxton Powers pollutes because he I don't know if he's like just cutting corners or whatnot, but he's dumping a lot of shit into like their river and then just killing all the wildlife and plant life all around him. So he's bad business. Like he's pretty shitty at his job. So he gets a call from his dad to come to Gotham. So he shows up and he's like, "Son, I need you right now more than ever. I'm gonna make you the new CEO of Wayne Powers. This is gonna be title only. You're gonna be doing everything I say, and if you do it right, then I'll actually give you some power." So, and he reveals himself to be radioactive, and Paxton, he seems like he actually does give a shit about his dad, um, which that changes real soon. So it's then they're having a meeting with Derek Powers, how he's announcing his temporary leave of absence and then placing his son in his place. So Bruce is there, and all the stockholders and whatnot. Like there's a big meet. Like everybody's there essentially. And then a couple men they burst through the doors, and as he's making that claim, he's like, "Hey, Paxton Powers pollutes the river. Look at this shit!" And he like has this barrel of like really rotted fish, and he throws it on the table, and then one of the fish lands in Derek's lap, and that makes he just throws him over the edge. He like his eyes start to shimmer, and then like the whole mass thing just starts deteriorating because he's just firing himself up so much. He's getting so pissed. So it's then revealed to the world that he is in fact Blight, and he's about to kill the guy that like threw a fish at him. But right beforehand, Bruce steps in, and Powers is like, "All right, I'll take you out then instead." But then Batman comes in. Uh, they get into a little bit of a scuffle, but Blight escapes because Batman turned back to make sure Bruce was okay. So now they're on a manhunt for this guy all over. He's like has the whole city searching for hotspots to make sure where he's at. And he's looking around, and then he sees a giant bat signal in the sky. So he goes to the source, and it's his son, because earlier he was talking to his dad, and he's like, "Listen, Dad, I called an ambulance. They're on their way to see you." And he's like, "Oh, you fucking idiot! They're only gonna bring the cops with them and take me in." And he's like, "Dad, I think we're past that point. We need to get you medical attention." So he's like, "Fuck you, son. I'm out of here." So that's why he called Batman, and he's like, "Listen, the boys like in his department, they're working on this machine that can suck the radiation right out of him. I just need your help in finding him so we can get him." So Batman he then like starts following on Bruce's recommendation his secretary, which the secretary leads him to an abandoned submarine, which is masking his radiation. Pretty smart move on his part. So Batman, he lets him know, he lets the son know where he can find the fathers. And there's this really good scene where Batman's in the sub and he's like coaxing Blight to come where he's at, like just taunting him and all this stuff. It's really good. Like you can definitely tell the differences between Bruce Wayne Batman and Terry Batman because Terry will actually fuck with you, and it's just so funny because he definitely is fucking with him. But then there's this amazing scene where Blight's like, "Who the hell even are you?" And he's like, "You really want to know?" He's like, "Yeah, tell me." He's like, "You killed my father." And then probably my favorite quote in the entire series. Do you have the slightest idea how little that narrows it down? Like when Blight's, that is such a good quote. I love that so much because Derek Powers really has been such an ass to, well, all of Gotham really. So yeah, then he's like he has a net thrown on him, and that net is like sucking the radiation from him, but it turns out to be too much. And Batman's like, "Hey, what the hell? Like, let's stop this. He's weak enough." He's like, "No, I'm gonna kill him," because you find out beforehand. Also, the the guy that came in to like protest Paxton Powers and threw a fish at Derek, he's a hired man by Paxton Powers. So he essentially set all that up to rile his father up to be able to get control of the company. So he's saying how Batman and himself pretty much want the exact same thing, and Batman being like the really cool guy that he is, he's like, "No, the hell I do. I'm not. I don't want him dead. I just want him to live life behind bars," which I would want him dead. I feel like that's a win-win. So I mean, it just goes to show Batman's a better man than me. But so then they're all of Paxton Powers men begin fighting Batman, but Batman, being Batman, wins, and then during the scuffle, some shots fired on the machine that's like sucking the radiation from Derek Powers blows up. So he's now loose, and he's at this point going absolutely critical. So Batman and everybody else get out of there. Batman has to save a couple people along the way, and they all escape the submarine except for Derek, who is in the sub when it explodes. So the episode ends with Paxton Power still in power, and Batman comes to warn him. And Paxton's like, "Wait, you think I'm scared of you, you little jerk?" And he's like, I wouldn't be so scared of me right now, and then somebody else." And he's like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, the body was never found, so." Yeah, which is kind of disappointing. They set it up like Blight is going to come back, and that would have been really cool, but that's the last time we ever see Blight, so. Oh well. But yeah, that was the season finale. Good stuff. Just the fact that, like, that's the end of Blight, and it was kind of set up that they were going to get more Blight, is kind of discouraging. I do have a feeling, like, it's because of, like, how the seasons were. Season 1 had 13 episodes. Season 2, I think, has 26 episodes, and then Season 3 got cut short again to 13 episodes. So I wonder if they had that extra 13 to work with, if they could have brought Blight back. I think he's a great villain. And he was in, like, I think 6 episodes the whole show, which, I mean, just goes to show, like, how much potential he could have had. I don't know. I wish we could have seen more of him, and it was kind of disappointing he went out like that. But yeah, good episode overall. Maybe not the strongest note to end it on for a season, but it was fine. So I'd probably rate that definitely not a 7 or a 6, and it's not 3-1, so I'm stuck between a 4 and 5. And I guess it was a little above average, so I guess a 5. A 5 seems fair. So yeah, that's it. Season 1's over. See you tomorrow for season 2. Bye bye.